ShinRobjira.
Holy crap, the Bandai Monster King series is back. With minus Goji, no less. Oh man, right out the shipping box, minus Goji is going to be standing well over 9 inches tall, but just under 10. Here is a closer look at that measurement, and oh my god, there's a box to talk about. The Monster King series might have been down and out for a couple of years, but man, their box game is still very, very strong. The red lettering, the solid black box, the image of minus Goji in the background with the movie Monster series tag background, but it's red now. All of this, all of the lovely little trimmings we got here, it's nice. It's awesome. Yet again, Monster King series killing it with the Monster King series boxes. This is new, I do believe. There you go. If your kid's under the age of 3, no giant Godzilla vinyl figure for them. Side of the box, the other side of the box, underside of the box. And here we have the back of the box, which is probably my favorite side of the box because look at that image, look at that mug. That man is angry. Honestly, this image right here, just minus Goji in the background, make for one hell of a poster. Kind of poster you'd find at FYE on sale for like $5. I'd buy it. But enough about cardboard, time for giant vinyl monster lizard. Ugh. Absolute bliss. So to get this out of the way now, the figure isn't going to feature too much paint on its back moving into its tail. It's all mostly going to be the detail show back here. And I'm not really all that bummed out by it. I really do wish the dorsal fins at least got a little bit more color to them, but for the most part, it's just the movie Monster series figure in a bigger size. See what I'm saying? At this point, it almost feels like Toho intentionally genetically engineered this Godzilla design to have the least amount of color possible, just so making figures like this would be a lot easier. And seeing as how many of the figure lines that Godzilla encapsulates really couldn't get Shin Godzilla right, I really don't blame them for making this design a lot more muted. I love Shin Godzilla, but boy, that man is difficult to capture. But anyway, for what we do have, we have painted toes and painted thighs over here, including a painted crotch. Moving up from there into the chest and the tibial area with the nails and the shoulder blades and the neck getting some paint. And then of course we have the head. We've got the burn scarring over here on the side of Godzilla's face, and we've got a little bit of that paint on top of his head, and oh my god, just look at that. That is an absolute silhouette of Godzilla, tried and true. But now let's talk about these eyes, because this eye over here is really friggin' wonky. Hopefully you all can see this, but it looks like the gray paint didn't meet the bottom of the eye over here, and the pupil and iris are just a little misaligned. Very visible from the front. This eye definitely fared a lot better though. This is the first Monster King series figure in a while, and this eye deal was apparently an issue with the movie Monster series figure, so sub rating of a half a star. But other than that, we have some fantastically painted teeth on both sides. We'll get a nicely painted row of teeth at the front over here, just not down here for whatever reason. The fleshy colored paint really does fit minus Goji rather well, and that plumpy wrinkly tongue on the floor of his mouth is just magnificent. Minus Goji will have some lovely details at the back of his throat and on the roof of his mouth as well. Nice stuff. And as far as paint goes, that's it. It really is just the movie Monster series figure with a bigger size and a different tail. Yeah, I'll give paint a solid star with that little sub rating of a half a star for the crooked eye. But now let's talk about detail. I promise to make this quick just so I don't keep y'all here, but the detailing on this figure is massive. It looks truly beautiful. It really does feel like I got a half-painted X Plus figure, to which I really can't complain because for $50+ I think this thing was, this feels worth it detail-wise. I imagine the lack thereof paint might turn some people away from this, but the amount of detail present on this figure is crazy. And we haven't even gotten into the dorsal fins yet, but Jesus. Wow. But before we move on any further, on the bottom of the feet, trademark in Toho Company Ltd, Bandai China, numbers. Fantastic detailing for the crotch and goochel area moving into the underside of Godzilla's tail. It's all going to be a little bit of the same, but it still does look really great. And I absolutely cannot wait to see where the heat ray version of this figure will end up. I say it like that because it always ends up being an exclusive. The final climax version of Shin Godzilla was a Godzilla store exclusive, I think. The Heat Ray version of Godzilla Phileas was an exclusive. I think you needed to pre-order tickets for the movie or something like that. Might have just been a Godzilla store exclusive too. So I'm fully expecting this beautiful son of a gun to be an exclusive to the Godzilla store, which means I'm going to have to pay a lot more money than I really need to. Do you see those dorsal fins? God. The detail adventure continues as we move throughout the tail. Just stunning. Really, really great stuff going on here. Godzilla almost looks like a boulder that came to life with all these bumps and grooves and all this other stuff. He just looks so damn cool. Great to know I've moved on from just thinking that it's the ride Godzilla with new dorsal fins. I mean, it is, but it isn't. No, it really isn't. It isn't. He's a step above. The dorsal fins, I feel, look fantastic, and they would have looked even more fantastic with paint on them, but the detail game is strong. Bandai strong. And I love that with the dorsal fins, either alongside them or in between them, we see little nubs of what could be spikes or younger dorsal fins waiting to mature and finally grow out of his back. That honestly sounded like it had darker implications than I really intended, but yeah, his back will not be without detail in between those dorsal fins, and I dig that. And then we got the back of his neck and the top of his head, and it's simply beautiful. And just look at these arms. Again, he's got that very stony vibe going to him, especially with these elbows over here that look like they're actually growing rocks out of them. And then we've got the armor-plated alligator-looking skin on the hands over here. Some fantastic detail on the opposite side of the arm moving into the hands. Second verse, same as the first for the other arm and its opposite side. And what else more is there to say? Monster King series minus Goji by and large. It's a solid star in terms of detail as well, but we already knew that was going to happen. I just wanted to showcase it because, damn, there's a lot of it. Yeah, I'm always going to wish for more paint. When it comes to this thing's price, you're paying for size and you're paying for a cardboard box together. So let's see how Goji fares in terms of articulation. Nothing at the head, full rotation at the arm, full rotation at the other arm, full rotation at the leg, full rotation at the other leg, nothing at the base of the tail, and nothing at the midpoint of the tail. About what I expected. Solid star in terms of articulation. Yeah, as far as Shin Godzilla, both versions, Godzilla Phileas and KOTM Goji went, they were all pretty much the same thing. Arms and legs, nothing at the head and nothing at the tail. And that's fine. They purposefully make these tails a bit smaller and curved to a certain degree so they'll fit in the box. And honestly, I'd prefer a curved tail than a short and stubby one that doesn't look like it belongs on a Godzilla. Anyway, size comparisons. Metallic minus Goji, Gemstone Goji, Ride Goji, Bagel Bacon, NECA KOTM Goji, SHMA GVK Goji, Haya GVK Goji Mark 1, Monster King Series Shin Godzilla Final Climax version, Monster King Series Shin Godzilla Standard version, Monster King Series / Bandai America Kiryu 2002, Monster King Series / Bandai America Final Goji, Monster King Series Godzilla Phileas, Monster King Series KOTM Goji, Limited Movie Monster Series Kiryu, Super 7 Toho Ultimate Blood Goji, Imperial Goji. Hey, I'm totally not recording this at a later time. I just want to do a quick little evolution of the Monster King series as it began in Japan. Because for those who don't know, the first two figures in this line was Final Goji and Kiryu 2002 from Bandai America. Those were just like flat out reissues, nothing was changed. Which makes Shin Godzilla the very first Monster King series figure. As you can see, they kind of have the same thing going on in different places. They got the eyes, they got the teeth, he's got the mouth, he's got paint on his arms, he doesn't. He's got it going down his neck into his chest. He kind of just has it right here and into his chest and his crotch. Toes were painted. The major difference between the two being that Shin Godzilla actually had a painted back, and, well, they kind of had to, but he had a painted tip of the tail as well. Phileas over here kind of got a little crazy. I mean, there was a lot going on with these figures. First off, they were molded in what looked like a sparkly vinyl. Then you had the additions of solid paints and metallic paints and everything. The eyes were painted, inside of the mouth and the teeth were not, which is, yeah. But then you have the likes of the dorsal fins, which featured metallic paint. Really not too much going on the back and between the dorsal fins. And the dorsal fins weren't painted all the way to the tip of the tail either. So it feels like the Monster King series has a specific way of operation when it comes to paint and paint application. Basically just, unless the figure really needs it to, like, encapsulate the iteration, they're not going to do it. I mean, just look at KOTM Goji over here. He's got the eyes, the teeth, and then dorsal fins. Nothing else. No nails, no anything, highlights or whatever. He's really just all dorsal fin paint. And like Phileas, his fins weren't fully painted all the way to the tip either. But then you got the big kahuna, Final Climax Shin Godzilla. Still can't figure out and or remember just what it was exclusive to, but I do remember it having a pre-order window.
Oh, these are pretty cool bananas.
And as compared to the original, he's obviously got the extended tail, he's got the new tip of the tail mold, new head, more paint as you can see. This is a special case though, because this guy over here, again, he was exclusive to something, so they had to go extra hard on the motherfucking paint. But clearly, since there is a picture of it, we will be getting a heat ray version of this lad with crazy paint on his back, but yeah, there we go. Anyway, I'm quite happy with Monster King series minus Goji. Save for that goofy little eye and maybe a little bit more color needed back here, I think it's a pretty dang solid release, and I know I really shouldn't be complaining about this because that Heat Ray variant is eventually coming out, I'm assuming, and that's likely where all the paint budget went to that thing, because seriously, look at those dorsal fins, my god. That's about going to wrap it up for me, friends and neighbors. I do so hope you all enjoyed. I will see you all tomorrow with my review of the Bandai Limited Movie Monster Series Metallic -1 Goji, and you can pretty much predict how this one's gonna turn out. Social media, final rating, which was probably already there all this time. See you tomorrow. Have yourselves a lovely day, afternoon, night, whenever you're watching this, and yeah, more Godzilla tomorrow. Yay. Bye.